Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Watson Arena, home of your Freeport Dragons. Coaches, players, and spectators are expected to treat officials with respect and avoid inappropriate gestures, language, or expressions. Here are your starting lineups. For the visiting Greely Rangers, on defense, number 22, Noah Barrel. On defense, number 10, Chase Levesque. At center, number 11, Jack Noon. At left wing, number 17, Connor Murphy. At right wing, number 3, Mitchell Lambert. And in goal, number 1, Beckett Olson. And now for your hometown Freeport Dragons. On defense, number 3, Ethan Patterson. On defense, number 22, Avery Sampson. At center, number 23, Evan Dorsey. At left wing, number 17, James Salco. At right wing, number 20, Nat Rathbone. And in goal, number 1, Mikey Shoemaker. Your referees tonight are Tommy Senecal and Chris Parsons. At this time, we ask you to please rise, and if you're able to, remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of the national anthem.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the prestigious Bowden College in Sidney J. Watson Arena for the opening game for your Brunswick Freeport boys ice hockey Dragons. They play against Greely. Kaz, how are we feeling?
Robert, I am stoked to be here. This is my first time calling a boys hockey game this season. I've done a couple girls games, so I've got the hang of hockey now. And boy, am I ready for this. I think the Dragons have a great shot at this.
This Dragons team lost to Greely 6 days ago at the Greely Icebreaker preseason games in Greely. I believe it was in Falmouth, actually, but that is Greely's home rink. Greely won that game 5-3 with an empty netter, but this Dragons team has since gotten back Captain Ethan Patterson, starting goalie Michael Shoemaker, as well as Ned Boak, Levi Boba, and Nikki Heaston, all 5 players you will see tonight. So this is a very different Brunswick team than Greely saw those 6 days ago. I am interested in whether we'll see 9 in maroon for Greely. Max Allen, who was ejected from that preseason game 6 days ago for a hit on Sam Inacio. I do believe the rule is that if you're ejected from a preseason game, you miss the first regular season game, but we'll see if we see 9 in maroon out here. It'll be Evan Dorsey to take the opening draw up against Jack Noon, who scored multiple times in that preseason game. And we begin. The Brunswick Freeport boys ice hockey season is underway. Dorsey racing in the corner with Barrel. Barrel fell down, pass down the middle, shot, and James Salco nearly had a chance to open this game up early. Jack Noon with space into the zone for Greely. Nice move. Will put it on net off the post. A chance again in the middle for Levesque. That one was blocked by James Salco. Jack Noon towards the net. That hit the outside of the pipe. Patterson fighting. Good to see him back, 3 in white. Missed those preseason games. Shot deflected and wide. It was Lambert who tried to redirect that one in. You'll notice that I am not going to be telling you what the clock says this game because we finally have the return of our illustrious scoreboard operated by the great Asher Foushée. Brandon Ware on the camera and me, Robert Bowen, and Kosinski on the microphone. And Asher, I'm gonna have to ask you to pause that. Yeah, it's a tough job. It's a tough gig, Asher. You're gonna be all right, man. Face off here between Coben Donnelly of the Rangers, and I believe that is Jameson Palmer taking the face off. Yes, chance in the middle, save made by Shoemaker as he went pipe to pipe.
Robert, we would just like to give a quick shout out to our sports cam sponsor of the night. We'd like to shout out Portside, specifically the Singer Domingos Real Estate Team. Thank you guys for funding sports cam for us, so we can have a scoreboard, a power play counter, a clock. We have all kinds of awesome stuff now, Rob.
Yeah, from the BHSN family as well as all of our viewers mostly. Thank you, Portside Real Estate. Palmer versus Donnelly for another defensive zone faceoff for the Dragons. Donnelly will tie him up. Nice poke there by Bowditch. Shot there will be stopped by Shoemaker. Here is Ned Boak. We'll give it up to Carter Copeland. Different forward lines here for the Dragons than usual. It's Copeland along with that Palmer and Bowditch. Here's a shot by Copeland, gloved by Beckett Olson. 1 in maroon for Greely. Kaz, you might be wondering, why is our good BHSN friend Tucker Gadoo and not in net for Greely? And that is because he is playing association hockey for the Northern Cyclones. So that is why Beckett Olson is getting the start.
Now, Robert, explain to me and those at home, what is association hockey?
That is your club that is pay to play. That is just not your public high schools. It's, I guess if you feel too good about yourself, you'll play for those association teams. But Tucker Gadoo, hope you're doing great, man. I hope you're watching. You have expressed your admiration for BHSN in the past. I hope you're watching your former teammates here tonight. So Tucker Gadoo, man, shout out to you. Great former goaltender for Greely the past 2 seasons. Would have been a junior. Here's Levesque. Will be kept in the zone by Patterson. Fires that one. And it is caught there by Noah Barrel. Barrel will be bumped to the boards by Nat Rathbone. Rathbone battling along the red line. Here now is Craven. And Shoemaker will signal for the icing, and the linesman agrees. Dragons will get a sub. Currently just running 2 forward lines and 2 defensive lines, Cass.
Yep, new strategy from the Dragons. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not entirely sure, as this is my first.
You're right. Slightly shorter benches than usual. I would expect to see those third lines and third defensive pairings at some point. Here's a chance by Copeland. Shot. Blocker save made by Olsen. Great look there by the freshman, getting his first varsity playing time, obviously, as a freshman. Bobuff in the neutral zone will knock it back into the offensive end. And there is Max Allen, 9 in maroon. He is playing even after that hit. And talk about big hits down the middle. Palmer nearly with the one-timer chance. Here's Bobuff. Will wind up a slap shot. That one's blocked by Craven. Racing after it now is Calvin O'Connor. O'Connor into the offensive zone. He'll wind up, fire it wide. And now Bowditch along the boards.
That was the intimidation factor by the Frenchman himself, Michael Shoemaker, to expertly send that shot the wrong way.
Ooh, Ethan Patterson with a rocket. That got the Brunswick student section fired up. Like save. There's Palmer with a shot. Score! Jamison Palmer beats Olsen glove side, and the Dragons have their first goal of the season.
Boom! Dragons strike first, strike hard, no mercy, sir. 11:49 remaining on the clock here, and the Dragons take a 1-goal lead. contrary to what we've seen in the past from these Dragons, who were traditionally down early. This time, they opened things up.
I believe it was unassisted. Jamison Palmer, the sophomore from Freeport, of course, this being a Brunswick Freeport co-op team. Here's Noah Barrel in the defensive zone. Mitchell Lambert will be hit by Patterson. Patterson will fire that one. It was deflected, and Bowditch will collect in the neutral zone.
Now, Robert, tell me why we're not seeing Ethan Patterson in the operator's box today, where we've seen him recently.
Yeah, it's interesting. He's been working in the box as a PA announcer and Jumbotron manager, especially for girls hockey. You might see him tomorrow at noon for the girls hockey game against Portland. But apparently he values playing in the boys hockey games over doing that. And here's a big hit there. I believe that was Avery Sampson, who put Murphy on his back. Here is Murphy. Rathbone will collect. Look up for Salco. Salco off the boards, kept in the zone. Shot there by Levesque is blocked by Sampson. Sampson with a pair of good defensive plays. Chance here, Lampert looking down the middle. Shot save made by Shoemaker, and he'll freeze it.
Now Shoemaker with another big save. He's proven to be an impact player, possibly contributing to the loss against Greely a few weekends ago. He was not here, which is, it's a big loss, and now they have him back. It's quite nice, I'll say, Robert.
Here's Palmer to take the draw up against 16 Marine, that being Coben Donnelly. Here is Ned Boak will collect, looking off the boards, kept in the zone by Max Allen, who is playing once again. I am shocked. Kaz, it was a pretty disgusting hit that he had the other night on San Ignacio, 20 in white for Brunswick. Here is a chance and a save made by Shoemaker. Wow, that was Andrew Adams all alone in front, but nice leg pad save by Michael.
I'm just as surprised as you are, Robbie, to see Max Allen playing after the hornswoggling hit the other day. It sent all of us reeling, and I think that this is a mess up by the MPA.
Here's a chance in the middle, glove save, rebound, and Michael Shoemaker somehow stretched out that glove and stopped that second shot attempt. How about that, Cats?
Yeah, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Michael Shoemaker is the best goalie in the world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, I don't want to hear nothing about no NHL player, nothing like that. It is Michael Shoemaker, it has been Michael Shoemaker, and it will be Michael Shoemaker.
Back here, hunting back Jarrett Bush. That one saved by Shoemaker once again. Shots on goal being led by Greely right now, 9-5. But Brunswick obviously has that 1-0 lead, which you guys know because of the scoreboard that's on your television screens. Jarrett Bush will cut back around Rathbone. James Salco racing after it. And he will put pressure there on Allen. Allen will spin, bank it off the boards. And now Dorsey tries to find it. Dorsey rocking the number 23 this year. I assume that is for LeBron James and Michael Jordan. Of course, he wore 11 last year, Cass.
Heartbreaking news from the NBA world. Last night, LeBron James scored 8 points, which snaps his 10-point game streak that has been going on since January 5th of 2007.
Talk about dangerous plays. Ethan Patterson lifts it with his backhand out of play and into the stands. Of course, if that happened in the NHL, that would be a 2-minute minor for delay of game. But Patterson will be allowed to stay on the ice, of course. Patterson has led the Dragons in penalty minutes the last 2 years, so he is probably very glad that rule is only found in the pro game.
Patterson is quite familiar with the ref's whistle, even in soccer season. He's a big hitter, and he's going.
He just did it twice in a row. Ethan Patterson, we're trying to play a hockey game out here. Kaz, I don't know about you. I think the MPA needs to change that rule to institute the delay of game penalty just for Ethan Patterson. We could call it the Ethan Patterson rule.
That would be sick. Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. The Ethan Patterson rule. That'd be a nice one to add.
Palmer will fight there. Noah Barrel keeps in the zone for Greely. Cole Bowditch, nice piece of skating to get to it. Copeland, and now Jack Noon will fire it into the zone. Collected by Avery Sampson. Sampson with space. Jack Noon takes it away, though. Noon looking down the middle. Nice move. Will backhand that one. Safe. Shoemaker rebound was broken up by Ethan Patterson. And you can just tell the difference that he is making after not playing in those scrimmage games last Saturday. Up ice. Open is Copeland. Makes a nice move. But Chase Levesque was not fooled.
Ethan Patterson has been looking amazing so far. He was a player we did not have last weekend, and he's a difference maker. If only the man could perform this well on the calculus test. I mean, who knows what happened. Recently dropped down a 65 on the most recent test. You know, one thing that means that there's only room for improvement, Ethan, and just try and translate the hockey game over to calculus, and you'll be unstoppable.
Hey, parametric equations are tough. They really are. This is the Dragons' third forward line making their first appearance. Jonah Kittinger, and a shot here. That one. Oh my goodness. I believe that was Nicky Heaston. Yeah, that was Heaston who had the shot. And Tyler Landry is 10 white. So that third forward line, yeah, is Landry, Kittinger, and Nicky Heaston. Here is Heaston along the red line. Taken over by Levi Bobuff in the defensive zone. He'll knock it to Boak. Lincoln Wellis fighting with Boak in the corner. Brendan Shaw saying hello. Of course, captain of Brunswick boys basketball, who beat Greely 75-36 last night. If the Dragons can win this game, Kaz, it'll be 3 wins by Brunswick over Greely in 24 hours.
Logan Gray, BHSN player of the game, now to give us a word here. Logan, what do you have to say about this game so far?
I just got here. We had some really good pizza just a minute ago. And Brunswick's winning.
Yes,
Logan, thank you for joining us for this interview. Tell us about your interview yesterday with BHSN that is posted on the Bewick Sportsnet Instagram page. Did you like that interview? Was it better than this interview? Talk to me.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. They gave me a lot of money to give.
Score! Ethan Patterson with a rocket from the blue line, and it's 2-0 Brunswick.
Hey, yo, Brett!
Was that Patterson, Robert?
It was.
The man is a machine. He is the fastest skater out there. He hits harder than anybody else, and boy, can he shoot as well. Huge play from Patterson.
We knew how big of an impact he would have coming into this game. Really, maybe expecting to see that same Brunswick team they saw 6 days ago, but it is a different team, and that is thanks to 3 and white. Offsides there on Salco. Both goals by the Dragons have been unassisted so far. Jameson Palmer and Ethan Patterson, the 2 goal scorers. Very grateful that Logan Gray was speaking during Patterson's goal, but we should expect that anytime Patterson has the puck in his stick, he is going to be scoring. That's just how you have to assume it. Of course, being a defenseman, he still is the Dragons' top offensive threat. I don't think anyone would argue with that. Patterson up the ice. There's Dorsey making a nice catch. Dorsey, probably the best forward on the team, will look to fire. Nice toe drag move, but it was poked away by Lampert. Dorsey fighting there, poked at by Rathbone. And here is Murphy looking across the ice.
Robert, to me, Dorsey is reminiscent of a young Gretzky. Now, I could be wrong on that, and you should call me out if I am, but just the way he plays reminds me of watching Gretzky in his early years in the league.
That is high praise. Avery Sampson will look to collect. Kept in the zone by Levesque. Now Jack Noon trying to find space, cannot. Dorsey will steal it away and find James Salco. James Salco, voted assistant captain by his teammates. He will eventually be wearing an A on his chest. I guess they do not have those letters ready to go. And when they have the C's ready to go, it'll be worn by Ethan Patterson and Avery Sampson. So those are your 3 Brunswick Freeport captains. Here is Copeland, taken away there by Levesque. Ned Boak putting some pressure on. We'll look down the middle. That was deflected and hit the outside of the net there by Levesque. Nice poke by Bodich, who will fall down. And here's Noah Barrell with space for the Rangers into the offensive zone. As Bobuff and Palmer with a nice hit, but it's open. Here's a shot glove by Shoemaker. Liam Murray with the shot.
Robert, a question for you now. Have we forgiven Avery Sampson and his Freeport boys for their heinous acts at the Yarmouth Freeport versus Brunswick girls hockey game.
We're of course talking about when the Freeport hockey players that play for Brunswick were rooting for Yarmouth Freeport against Brunswick in that girls hockey game. I do think Avery Sampson scored his first goal of his life for Brunswick Freeport on Saturday in the preseason game, so kind of want to forgive him, but I'm kind of waiting until he scores a varsity goal, not in the preseason.
That's fair. That's a good analysis. And let's give one more shout out to Ryan Livesey, who is working the gate tonight and is doing an excellent job.
Yeah, a lot of talk over that order of goaltenders. Michael Shoemaker playing fantastic so far. He has 12 saves. Here's Nat Rathbone with speed into the zone. Nice backhand down the middle. It's picked off by Murray. Salko will poke at it, and they clear it into the neutral zone. Patterson will knock it back to Salko, but Salko has to avoid the offsides. That one picked off, and big hit in front of the Dragons bench. That was Jarrett Bush who hit Rathbone, and Rathbone's mad. Jarrett Bush, of course, who had a huge hit on Jamison Palmer last year that gave him a concussion, and another egregious act will send him to the box. And Asher just hit that power play on, and it's Greely's penalty. So it'll be a power play. Oh, wait, no, yeah. You wait, yeah. There you go. You were right. It's a huge hit. It'll line up. It'll line up, Asher. Trust. Penalty there by 6 in maroon. Jarrett Bush. We got a first look at the Dragons power play. They have that first line of forwards: Rathbone, Dorsey, and Salko, along with Patterson and Avery Sampson. Down the middle for Rathbone. Couldn't get his blade on it. Rathbone, big hit along the boards. Still fighting. That hit was on Noah Barrow. That'll be kept in the zone by Sampson. Gives it back to Dorsey. Dorsey behind the net, looking for Rathbone. Rathbone puts another big hit as Barrow will fall again. Salko has space. Will give it back to Rathbone. Rathbone winds up, fires, and wide. Sampson keeps it in the zone. Will cut back. Has a bit of space, and Greely can clear it. And that one goes into their bench.
Patterson with his third act that ends up with a puck in the Greely bench. I'm not sure if we'll see more of that tonight. I'm not sure what to think about that. Also, we're seeing a little feisty play from Rathbone here, and that is to be expected. I've known Nat Rathbone since the early years of my life, and he's not one to forgive. So I predict a goal from him, to be honest.
All right. Palmer will lose the face-off there. Dragons still have 1 minute and 20 seconds left in that power play, as you know, thanks to our wonderful scoreboard operator, Asher Foushée. Here is Sampson. That one kept in the zone. No, Patterson could not catch it. Patterson, nice spin into the zone. He goes high slot fire wide. Rebound attempt shot is blocked. That was Carter Copeland who put that one nearly on net. Copeland tries to give it back. It's picked off by Donnelly, and he'll clear.
Good play from the freshman Copeland there. Slap shot on net. He has proven himself to be a strong player early, and hopefully will benefit the program for years to come.
Bodic crossed the ice there to Palmer. Palmer with space into the zone will slow it down. Fire saved by Olsen. Rebound attempt for shot. Bodic. Leg pad saved by Olsen. Bodic looking back to Palmer. And nobody home there for the Dragons to keep it in the zone. Sampson will collect. 20 more seconds left in that power play from the interference minor on Jarrett Bush. Greely clears once again. One last rush maybe as the Dragons try to get a change. Looking way up the ice. Rathbone makes the catch. No, could not settle it. It was Dorsey who called for it. Rathbone and him were both right next to each other. Rathbone tried to field it and could not. And Bush will be released, and Greely penalty kills 1-for-1. Jack New with space into the zone. Nearly 5-on-5 down the middle. Save made by Shoemaker. Good centering pass by Noon, but Shoemaker, I talked to Ryan Livesey about this, Kaz. You might see, Shoemaker, you're wondering if these saves are really all that impressive because they always hit the center of his chest, but that really is a testament to what Michael is so good at. He's such a great mover, and he always positions himself so that the puck will always hit him right in the center. Another great save by one in white.
Yeah, I mean, so far, Robert, Michael is getting one of my player of the game stars. My player of the game star. I think he is shutting it down at the back there.
This has been a great first period performance so far by Brunswick. Third line of forwards on for the Dragons. That's Kittinger who blocked the shot. Heaston, sorry, that was off Sampson's skate, but Heaston is out there. No, he's not. I expected him to be. Oh, that's Easton. Yeah, that's Easton. Okay, sorry guys. I know Nicky Easton. Here is Landry. Tyler Landry with space into the offensive end. He goes. Will fire. It's blocked. But a chance here by Easton is knocked away by Noah Barrel. That was a great defensive play there. Kittinger puts the hit on, but a chance here the other way for Noah Barrel. Barrel has Patterson in front of him. Will fire. That one saved made by Shoemaker. Rebound, and he'll freeze it.
Patterson with excellent defensive position there, shutting everything down. And then, of course, you know who it is on the save. Big Mike.
Yeah, there was a lot of questions before the season of who exactly would be starting for the Dragons. Colton Sampson played a lot over the offseason, got a lot better. Ryan Foushée came in for Shoemaker in the playoff game against Kennebunk and had a 2-period shutout, played great in that game. But at the end of the day, it all comes back to Michael Shoemaker, who started, I believe, every game last season. Yeah, he started every game last season. And he's playing great in this one. Chance here, but Bush, nice move into the slot. He goes, will backhand that one, saves Shoemaker.
There was also the question if Gabe Shoemaker would figure out a way to do a 5th year of high school hockey and come back and play and switch back into goaltender and play. I mean, that was definitely an option, I think, early on, Robert.
It was. There were thoughts of whether I would try to play goalie. There's all these options, but it's always been Michael Shoemaker. Down the middle, it was Lincoln Wellis who fired that one. Saved here by Shoemaker, and he will freeze it once again. Wellis falls down. I believe it was Palmer who shoved him, and the Dragons will get a change. They'll send back on that first line of forwards, Salco, Rathbone, and Dorsey. Salco and Rathbone had played for the most part with Carter Copeland. Copeland shifting down to the second line with Bowditch and Palmer this game. And Dorsey, Evan Dorsey probably is, I would definitely call him the best forward on the team. I was told by who I consider the second best forward, Nat Rathbone, that Dorsey is the best, so I'm going to trust Rathbone's word there. Dorsey now back on that first line. Patterson will keep it outside of the zone to avoid the offsides. That's a smart play there. Sampson has it taken away. Here is Levesque looking up the ice. Lampert will rocket it too far for noon. Final 30 seconds of the period. It feels really good to not have to tell you guys what the clock is at all the time. And thank you once again, Asher Foushée and Portside Realty Fire. Save made by Shoemaker. Patterson with the hit on Lampert, but he lost his stick. Patterson, blocker saved by Shoemaker, but a chance for Greely down the middle, centering, save made. Now, Shoemaker is also without a stick. 2 of the 6 Dragons on the ice did not have their stick at the end of the play.
That comes out to about 33.3%, Robert. 2 for 6. Not a great ratio, if we're being quite frank here. You'd like, ideally, all of your players to have a stick in their hands. I think we have a delayed penalty here.
Yeah, it's on Patterson. He'll go to the box. And as we expect, it's an interference on Ethan Patterson. I believe it was after he lost his stick, he went and hit a Ranger after the play. And as we expect, Patterson, the last 2 seasons, led the Dragons in penalty minutes, and here he is, taking the lead on the team once this clock starts with Asher Foushée. Patterson will take the lead for penalty minutes on Brunswick for the 3rd straight year. Shot here is wide by Allen, and that'll do it. Greely will open the second period with a power play. And Kaz, do you think they're going to force Ethan to stay in the penalty box until the second period, or will they let him go join his team in the locker room? Or should they?
I think morally everything is wrong, but I think that they will let him join his team. I think we've seen the door open, and Ethan has joined his team. Good news for the Dragons, having their captain in the locker room with them.
Yeah, in the locker room though, Ethan, called a game with Ethan last night, of course, the co-president of Brunswick High Sports Network, Ethan Patterson. I'm wondering if he's going to use these 15 minutes to study calculus or if he's going to go over the game.
Probably a nice mix of both. I think there is a lot of work to be done with calculus, as we've seen so far, but I would also assume he'd help out with the game. Now Dara Woodruff will join us here. Dara, what are your thoughts?
The boys are looking really good. The stick handling is amazing. Ethan, watching him score that goal, he just looked like he knew where it was going. It was amazing. Yeah, that's it.
That'll do it for our first period of action. The Dragons will take a 2-0 lead into the locker room. Goals by Jamison Palmer and Ethan Patterson. We will see you once that clock is at 0. Hopefully Asher will start that soon. See you soon, folks. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Bowdoin College and Sidney J. Watson Arena for the opening game of the Brunswick Freeport boys ice hockey season. They lead 2-0 over Greely after a first period that they frankly dominated Kaz. Ethan Patterson scored with a rocket from the blue line, and Jameson Palmer scored with a pretty short-range shot. Dragons have been looking great, mainly Michael Shoemaker in net has been just playing amazing. He has 18 saves, had 18 saves in the first period. Ethan Patterson will open this period in the penalty box after his interference minor. So the Dragons penalty kill will get their first shot. They open with Keaston, Rathbone, Sampson, and Salco as the 4 penalty killers. Nicky Heaston is a guy who is described as someone who just works incredibly hard, and that is the type of guy that you want, type of grinder that you want on your penalty kill cast.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Hard work wins. I mean, hard work and defense wins championships, and this is a good mix of hard work and defense. That's how I describe a penalty kill.
Houston will sub off for Evan Dorsey, and here comes Mitchell Lambert with speed into the zone. He'll fire that one wide of the net. Minute left in Patterson's minor penalty, which you guys, once again, you know there's a minute left thanks to Asher Foushée, which he is resetting now. Thanks, Asher. You're doing a great job.
Asher Foushée, 2 E's on the end, accent aigu on the first one. It is French origin.
Moon fires shot leg pad save by Shoemaker, who of course we have French class with. Keep talking about French, please.
I mean, French is just, it's romance language. It's beautiful. I mean, Miss Duncan was a great French teacher. I enjoyed her class greatly for 2 years alongside Robert Bowen and the Michael Shoemaker, along with 1 year accompanied by James Salco, assistant captain this year. So just a little fact for you at home.
Barrel back to Lambert on the wing. Barrel will survey. 5 seconds left in the power play all the way across. It'll be settled by Noon. Patterson will be released in just now. Dragons penalty kills 1-for-1. Fire Noon, rebound, and Shoemaker somehow. How did he get over there? The whole net was open, but that mobility that I talked about now, Patterson with speed the other way will look to fire around. Dorsey with a chance. Oh my goodness, I have no idea how Shoemaker made that stop, going pipe to pipe and stopping Murphy's attempt.
Shoemaker has set up camp in the back there, and he is determined to defend his fortress, and he has so far.
He is playing out of his mind, I will say. He is standing on his head. Cut back for Lambert, whiffs on the shot, but gets it back. Now fires gloved by, guess who? Michael Shoemaker.
I mean, if you were to just outline his human body playing the sport, you would think it's a catcher playing baseball. Everything right in the glove, frozen perfectly, no drops, no danger.
I believe in your frame there, right behind the net, you can see Brunswick boys lacrosse head coach Ben Herman, along with his son Duke Hurricane Herman. Patterson off the boards, and a chance up ahead for Tyler Landry. He'll look to fire, save Olsen, and kept in the zone by Patterson. Patterson will wind up and fire, save Olsen, rebound, but it will be frozen by number 1 in maroon.
Number 1 in maroon he's also doing a great job. Beckett Olsen, obviously.
Taking over his first year starting because of Tucker Gadu being gone.
He's doing a great job as well. We'll give him some props.
Jonah Kittinger will win it there to Heaston. Heaston looking back, taken over back again by Kittinger. 2 freshmen who are playing a ton as forwards on the first and third line respectively, Carter Copeland and Jonah Kittinger. 5 and 6 in white. Jared Bush lost his stick. Liam Murray racing for it. Pressure there by Boba. Tyler Landry now will try the self-pass, kept in the zone by Bush, and Bush with a big hit to knock down Landry. Bush, of course, had the big hit on Rathbone earlier that generated a interference penalty, and of course, we'll remind again, he had a big open ice hit against Jameson Palmer last year, gave him a concussion. Just saying. that's 6 in maroon. Here will be Craven up against Rathbone. Rathbone wins the draw. Bobuff skating after it. He'll collect and now give it up back to Sampson. Sampson banks it off the boards. Interesting, slightly different defensive pairing here with Bobuff and Sampson. I guess trying to spread out the wealth. I don't think anyone would argue that Patterson and Sampson are the two best defensemen, so maybe try to put one of them with Boak and the other one with Bobuff. That seems to be the best course of action. Dorsey up ice past the red line. And he'll get it back in the neutral zone. Dorsey across to Rathbone. Rathbone will able to get the puck, and he still has it. Now takes it inside. Olsen off his leg. Rathbone tries to round, and here's a shot. Nearly went in. Oh my goodness, Evan Dorsey. I saw that right side of the net open, but Olsen somehow got his glove on it. I thought for sure that was going in, guys.
And Rathbone's the real big name on that play. He kept that puck on his stick far longer than most could. He moved down the ice, lots of defenders taking shots at him, and he held on.
Yeah, just like Patterson earlier, I would call Patterson and Rathbone the two fastest skaters on the team, and they both tried to round the net quickly to jam it in on the open side as Olsen, before Olsen could get back, but Olsen was able to. Actually, no, Rathbone just couldn't bring it around the whole net. It did look like Olsen was still out of position, so the net would have been open to complete the wraparound attempt. Patterson into the slot. He goes. Well, backhand that one. It's blocked by Max Allen. Bowditch is evaded by Bush, who finds Lampert open up the ice. Will cut back on Boak. Lampert fires, save made. Shoemaker. Boak cannot clear. Allen towards the net. Noon could not redirect. Bowditch through the neutral zone he goes. He will spin, fire down the middle. It's picked off. And now Bowditch. Noon makes a nice move on Palmer. And that'll be an offside. Lampert was already past that blue line. So it'll be an offside and a neutral zone faceoff.
Robert, I think we need to go ahead and mention that Michael Meisner of Brunswick High School has made his return to the Brunswick coaching staff, and he is definitely making an impact here tonight. He is the reason the Brunswick Dragons are up 2-0.
Face-off win by Greely. Down the middle, stick aside by Shoemaker. Chance here for Jonah Kittinger. The freshman is able to get by Lincoln Wellis. Sampson pressured there by Donnelly. Here's Levesque, Chase Levesque for the Rangers. Kittinger will really pick it off. Now Sampson has it into the zone. He is hit by a pair of Rangers, and he'll go back after Donnelly, who lost his glove for a moment. And here's a huge hit. That was Jonah Kittinger, the freshman, who lays out Lincoln Wellis, another freshman for the Rangers.
Patterson started on this team years ago as a trembling teenager of touch and tease, and now in his glorious senior season stands out here in all power, laying people out left and right. That was Joey Kittinger, who is also laying people out left and right.
Dragons have always needed more physicality from their forwards, and the freshman Kittinger with a very nice hit there. Here will be Dorsey with Rathbone and Salgo. Nice face-off win back to Boak. Boak will fire it wide right. Patterson will rocket that one. Save made by Olsen. And nice move there by Jason Parent to get around Boak. Allen, D to D, is knocked away by Dorsey. Chance now for the Dragons. Evan Dorsey, well fired and score! Evan Dorsey gets the turnover and gets the goal. It is 3-0, Brunswick Freeport.
Pocket rocket from Dorsey there, up into the top left corner of the net. That is a dangerous shot. No goalie is stopping that thing.
Just a great individual effort. All three of the Dragons' goals now have been unassisted. Dorsey picked off the pass, took it into the zone himself, and beat Olsen top shelf. Up ahead here, Lampert with speed off the faceoff. Collected by Murphy. Murphy in front of Shoemaker.
Number 23, Evan Dorsey, unassisted.
Boba fighting along the boards. It's taken away by Lampert with space for Greely. He'll fire that one well over the net. Jack Noon will drop it off, kept in the zone by Levesque. Levesque back to Noon, down the middle, off the leg pad of Shoemaker. Boba fighting there with Lampert. Shoemaker also takes a shot, and Shoemaker will shove Lampert. And I don't know who this is going to be on. I did not see exactly why the whistle. It surely is not a penalty on Michael Shoemaker, I would doubt. But Bobuff there, Bobuff and Shoemaker both bullying Lambert. Did not like him sitting there in front of the crease. It is going to be, there might have been an offside that happened that I did not see. I was focused on the little scuffle there.
Nobody's perfect, Robert. We're all human here. Especially at BHSN. We do not employ anybody other than humans.
Yeah, no AI content used. Shot down the middle, Noon. Taken over, there's a wraparound attempt, and once again, Noah Barrel could not get it. The wraparound move has just not worked for either team today. Barrel, Patterson, and Rathbone all trying it, 0 for 3. Shots on goal being led by Greely. Here's a shot, and speaking of a shot on goal, that one finds the back of the net. I believe it was Noah Barrel who was able to beat Shoemaker on his glove side, and he'll cut the lead down to 2.
Not Shoemaker's fault there, I don't think. That was a clouded vision there, if you will. Probably 4 to 5 hockey players standing in his line of sight. You know, that's a hard shot.
As I was saying, Greely leads in shots on goal 27 to 17, but still trails by 2. So it does feel like they've had more offensive opportunities than the Dragons. Definitely more offensive zone time.
Ranger goals scored by number 22.
Dragons have to hope they can get some more settled offensive chances. Patterson hit there on Lincoln Wellis. Wellis will go back after Kittinger, who laid him out earlier, and Kittinger will fall. That'll be an icing.
Patterson, we see another hit there. This time it was not Jonah Kittinger, it was in fact Ethan Patterson. Patterson is not afraid of the boomstick, we've learned, and that intimidation factor does more than you guys at home may really realize.
Dorsey here up against Lamberts. He'll win the faceoff back to Boak. Clean faceoff win by Evan Dorsey. Salco will put pressure and shove Max Allen. Here's Murphy. Patterson will go out for Murphy. Patterson seems to just be hitting anyone he can. Salco up the ice. Nobody is home. That should be an icing.
Patterson is coming in with the... You said Patterson, right?
I did. That would be Patterson there, who I said is hitting people. That being Ethan Patterson, number 3 in white, the captain, Ethan Patterson.
Patterson has the mindset that anything that moves will soon perish. And he will be the one that inflicting the perishing, if you will.
Yeah, most of his hits really don't seem to be benefiting the play. He's just doing it for the love of the game. Bobuff still with Sampson, and as the official raises his hand for a delayed penalty, it's going to be a cross-check, I believe, on Evan Dorsey for Brunswick. Just from his demeanor, Sampson pleads with the linesman, but Dorsey will slowly move. I didn't see it. Can somebody go into the box so I can get it confirmed? I think it's on Dorsey. Dorsey is arguing with, yeah, it will be penalty on Evan Dorsey, second penalty on the Dragons tonight, but their penalty kill is 1 for 1. We'll throw that up on the screen for you. Here is Levesque. Hill fire save made by the blocker of Shoemaker.
Penalty number 23, Evan Dorsey.
That is Theo Lyons, 14 and white, in here on the penalty kill. His first varsity playing time of his career, I believe. I don't think he played at all last year. He is a sophomore. Patterson will come on along with Kittinger and Rathbone for the penalty kill. Sampson will remain on the ice. Minute 43 left to kill. Rathbone take the face-off against Donnelly. Clean win. Back here to Levesque. Levesque across. Winding up his Noon. He'll fire it wide. Right. Lambert across to Noon. Again intercepted by Ethan Patterson. Patterson, a rare member of the Dragon penalty kill since he's usually in the box.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to have him out there, though, right?
Yeah. Since he's so good at everything else, I would just assume he's the best penalty killer as well. But once again, we don't see him out there enough.
He's especially good at calculus.
Here's Noon fighting there with Rathbone, Kittinger. And here's Lambert will fire. Save made once again by Michael Shoemaker. Noon will fall before he can get a shot off. Kittinger up the ice, collecting the neutral zone by Noah Barrel. Dragons have killed 70 seconds left. 70 seconds of a 2-minute minor. Kittinger will find Patterson. Patterson will wind up and blast that one 200 feet to kill some more of that penalty.
And once again, there is no icing call on a power play. So that's why you folks at home may be wondering, they're sending it down, should be an icing, right? No. On the power play, you can send it all the way down, and there will not be an icing call.
And that's going to be, I believe, too many men on the ice for the Rangers as they're caught in a change with the puck right there. Or maybe not. Officials still discussing. I think that should be too many men on the ice. That's what the linesman is discussing with the Greely bench right now. I believe there were 6 out there. And yeah, it's going to be Max Allen skating towards the box, and the Dragons have killed a penalty. And we'll play 4-on-4 for 20 seconds. Yeah, Asher, I don't think there's any way to show a 4-on-4 on there, so just turn off the power play for now, and then set that to 140, and then once he releases, you can just hit go, and then that'll be a minute 40 seconds of power play for the Dragons. Yeah, thanks, Asher. Asher doing a wonderful job running our clock. So we'll have 4-on-4 for the next 20 seconds after the too many men penalty on the Rangers. Here is Bogue with space. He'll find Rathbone. Couldn't handle it.
Served by number 9.
Patterson taken away, and now Dragons power play will get their second chance of the night. Dorsey comes to the bench. Salko has it along the wing. Nice move by James Salko, and kept in by Bodic. Bodic gives it up to Patterson. Patterson somehow keeps it in the zone. And Noah Barrel collects, and he'll be hit by James Salko into the boards. I was asking for more physicality out of the forwards, and James Salko delivering some of it. A minute left on the power play. Patterson with speed into the zone. He'll wind up, he'll fire, and ring that one off of Olsen's stick. Here's Bodic with it, snaps it down to Salko. Salko makes a move, leaves it back off for Bodic. Bodic will fire down the middle, open shot, save made by Olsen. That was Rathbone, open in the middle. Good find by Bodic, but Rathbone could not beat one in maroon. Patterson across to Sampson. Salko looking for a change, but he'll stay on, make a nice move. Salko, almost a second nice move. He made a couple of Rangers fall, but loses the puck. Salko was asking for that change. Now is to stay on defense. Shot down the middle, save by Shoemaker. Have to imagine Salko is tiring.
Absolutely, Robert. He was really looking to get a change there. Just couldn't get off in time. Puck wound up with him. Now we will see Salko get his change.
Yeah, Theo Lyons comes on once again, getting some more ice time. Lambert fires that one over the net, hits the back glass, and Allen will release, so we're back to 5-on-5 play. Allen blocked by the skate of, man, with those jerseys rolled up, it's tough to tell. That is Sampson, though, who blocked that one off his skate. Open, here is Palmer racing after it. Palmer will leave it off for Lyons. Theo's older brother, Ivan, was a senior on the original Brunswick Freeport boys ice hockey team in 2023 and 2024, also playing defense. Shot there, stick aside by Shoemaker. Big hit there by Palmer as he sends Parent into the boards. Bowditch, chance up ahead. He has a 2-on-1 with Kittinger. Bowditch down the middle. Bowditch, Kittinger will fire. Save made by Olsen, and he freezes it.
Yeah, that's as good as a look is going to get, but simultaneously, those are the hardest ones to hit. You know, the pressure doubles. All of a sudden, the goalie is huge. I mean, that's a hard one to hit, and it's okay to miss those once in a while.
My guess is Kittinger was trying to open up the 5-hole and jam it through, but just could not. But a good chance there. Bowditch creating a nice opportunity. Boak, that one was blocked by his own teammate Kittinger. Sends up the ice. No icing. Patterson will collect in the defensive zone. I would have to call Patterson the fastest skater on the team, and he's showing it, getting around about 4 different Rangers. Kittinger will deliver the hit. And Tyler Landry sends it down. Houston up against the boards with Allen. Allen will get possession back. 45 seconds left in the period. That one nearly gloved, but a rebound attempt for Houston could not get it to fall. Patterson, nice move, will fire. Save made by Beckett Olsen.
Now, Robert, I'm looking at the Jumbotron here. I don't know what you call it. I mean, Jumbo something.
You can call it the Jumbotron.
And Brunswick has 21 shots on goal to Greely's 31, which I don't feel.
I don't feel that at all.
I don't feel that reflects the game one bit, but I guess it must.
I guess Greely has had the majority of zone time this game. I would argue that. But still, Olsen's still seen a lot of shots. I mean, 21 to be exact. But Greely with 10 more shots on goal, but 2 less scores. Dorsey to take this draw up against Jack Noon. Noon will win it here to Barrel. Barrel will bank it off his boards. Sampson here to Dorsey. Dorsey surveys, finds Rathbone. He's open. That one's blocked. Rathbone collects his own rebound, now fires it wide. A chance though. That one goes in. Evan Dorsey finds the back of the net for the second time, and the Dragons have a 4-1 lead.
Dorsey with his second goal of the night, I believe. Robert, you may be correct. He may just be the Brunswick Dragons' best forward.
I definitely believe that, Kaz. It was Rathbone who created the opportunity. Dorsey caught it off his skate, and Olsen was out of position. Dorsey finds the back of the net once again. That brand new 23 number, Kaz.
Oh yeah, great new number. Though you may think that that's, a sitter, it's right in front of the goal, you just got to tap it in, but it's all about positioning. It's about being the guy that's there at the right time, that's ready to finish it.
Last 10 seconds of this period. That has been another good one for the Dragons. Lambert couldn't get a chance, and that'll do it for our second period. Dragons scored 2 of them, both by Evan Dorsey in this second period of play.
Ned Boak coming flying into Michael Shoemaker there for an affectionate hug. Just clearly demonstrates how much this team loves their goalie and how well he's holding it down back there, saving 30 shots so far.
Yeah, fantastic period by the Dragons. They will win that one 2-1. So we'll mute the stream for another 15 minutes.
You want to do another interview?
John Paul, you feeling good about this game, John Paul?
I'm feeling great. I told you guys they were saving it for the season. I've been called many things, but never once a liar.
John Paul Bolton, of course, scored a goal in last year's playoff game for the Dragons against Kennemonk. Of course, folks, once the period ends, we have the whole Brunswick student section walk by, so we get to talk to all these great characters coming by. One of them, Brendan Shaw. Brendan, do you guys have another game tomorrow? Of course, you are the captain of the boys basketball team.
Yes, we do. We have one in Bangor at 1 p.m.
BHSN is not going to be covering that. We are going to be covering girls hockey at noon. Brendan, do you recommend people make the trip to Bangor since they can't watch it on BHSN?
It will definitely be a good game. Could be worth the drive. But we'll get one back on Saturday against Messalonsky with BHSN.
Well, what happened the last time you were in Bangor?
Last time we were in Bangor, the soccer team actually beat Camden Hills in the regional final.
Brendan, we do have early word that you will be scoring 30 points tomorrow. How do you feel about this, and is it true?
I love this notification coming from Kaz. I'll be excited to see the outcome of it.
Thank you very much, Brendan. That'll do it for our second period of coverage. We'll get you right back here in 10 minutes. Dragons lead 4-1. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Sidney J. Watson Arena at Bowdoin College for our third and final period of action between the Brunswick Freeport Dragons and the Greely Rangers, as it has been a domination so far by Brunswick. 2 goals by Evan Dorsey in the second period, along with 1 apiece by Ethan Patterson and Jamison Palmer in the first period. Puts the Dragons on top. Noah Barrell scored a goal for Greely in the second period, and here's another chance for Greely. It was knocked aside by Dorsey. Dorsey will collect, but give it right back to Lambert, who will be hitting the boards by Salco. Noon will toe drag inside and leave it up. Open is Max Allen. Allen will wind up, fire it across to the other wing to Jarrett Bush. Bush has it stripped and is knocked down by Rathbone. Rathbone will hit Bush again and knock the puck off the boards and to Avery Sampson, who lays it up to Salco. Salco couldn't get to it. Dorsey will poke it up to himself. Evan Dorsey racing after it with Murphy. Murphy will poke at it, and Dorsey will fall and rip Murphy to the ground. No call there. Rathbone will wrestle that puck back and was trying to get it to Patterson, but couldn't, losing it into the neutral zone. Patterson will get bumped by Lampert, and now taken over by Murphy. A 2-on-1 for Greely. Shot is saved by Shoemaker. Wraparound. Shoemaker was out of position, but Donnelly could not put it away, and we stay 4-1. And we'll get a whistle. It could goal be off its pegs, and it is.
Goal is off the pegs, everybody. That means the ref is going to do some fixing. It's good news for the goalie and the rest of the team who would like to continue playing hockey.
As we've been doing hockey games here for a few weeks, including the girls' games, I feel like it is always that net on the. What cardinal direction would that be? Would that be the south side of the rink? It's always the south side net that has been coming off its pegs.
That is due to the increased gravitational pull on that side, because there are only penguins on the south pole.
Yeah.
Meaning the south has just more penguins, I guess.
Exactly. The Penguins are why that goal keeps coming off its pegs. Of course, being here in the home of the Polar Bears.
Penguins.
Bowditch, nice move. Will backhand that one down the middle, and a shot there by Palmer is over the net. It goes straight up in the air, and Bowditch will find it. Now we'll look inside with one hand, lays it up. Copeland couldn't get to it. Patterson also could not. And the Dragons will have to reset. Patterson will rocket that one around the boards. Palmer, though, collects it. No, he could not collect it. And now here, Ned Boak paired with Ethan Patterson as the first defensive pairing, as I said, distributing the wealth of the 2 best defensemen, Sampson and Patterson, having them be on separate lines. I think is the right move. Dorsey kept in the zone by Patterson, and the linesmen disagree. So an offside and a neutral zone face-off as the Dragons will send on their third line of forwards, Landry, Heaston, and Kittinger.
Was ist das? I don't entirely know what just happened, Robert. Will you explain that to me?
So, offside is defined as if a player enters the zone before the puck. So Patterson was trying to keep the puck in the offensive zone in front of that blue line, but it just trickled behind the blue line, so that meant that the puck was out of the offensive zone while multiple Dragons were in the offensive zone. That is an offside.
Roger that, Captain. That is good information to have.
You're welcome. Allen will leave it across for Bush. Craven racing for it. I believe that is Drew Wilson with his first ice time of the night. He did not play hockey last year, but he is a sophomore. Wilson will ice the puck. Stay on, though. He is paired on defense with Avery Sampson.
Number 18 on Brunswick, Nicky Heastand, is somebody who has been flooring it every time it appears like it's heading towards an icing call. The puck will be flying down the ice, and he is in hot pursuit every time.
As we mentioned, a very hard worker. Palmer on the faceoff will give it back to Sampson. Nice work there by 19 in white. Now Drew Wilson will bank it off the boards. Bowditch up to Palmer. Tries to kick it to himself and not. Noah Barrell takes over for Greely. Looking across, that's picked off by Carter Copeland. Copeland to Wilson. Wilson back to Copeland. Taken away, though, by Noon. Jack Noon. Nice move. Good puck handling. He'll fire now, save Shoemaker. Palmer with the puck in the circle. Off the boards here to Sampson. Sampson, he looks up ice, way up ice. It's picked off by Noah Barrel, who's open. Sampson lays out for that one, but he didn't need to because Shoemaker was there.
That's a team player right there. Put his body on the line, willing to take that hit. Thankfully, Shoemaker was able to deal with it expertly.
Shoemaker gave a nice fist bump there to Sampson in gratitude. Donnelly here up against Kittinger for the face-off. Official signals for Easton to move down a little bit, and now he'll kick out Kittinger and send in 15 in White. I believe this is 15 in White's first ice time. Oh, that's Ryan Nile. Ryan Nile, first time on the ice. He subs into that third line of forwards for, I believe he took out Tyler Landry. That puck will go into the stands. No netting on the sides of the rink. And some lucky fan will get a free puck. Donnelly versus Kittinger on the face-off. Here's the puck drop. Four in White, Samuel Inacio with his first ice time as well. Very interesting. Ryan Nile and Sam Inacio, first time on the ice for each of them. And last season, Nile wore number 4, but now it's Inacio. So I don't know how I'm going to figure them apart. But here is Patterson into the offensive zone. He goes, he'll fire. It's blocked by the shin of Max Allen. Patterson will survey, keep it himself into the slot, backhands that one over the net. And now here is Ryan Nile.
Do we think that Patterson just launched one into Max Allen and somewhat of a revengeful act?
I do. I do think so. After that hit on Sam Inacio, who's on the ice there, as I mentioned, number 4 in White. So maybe watch how they interact. No, Allen did just go off. So that puck bounces into the defensive zone for Greely as the Dragons put their first line of forwards back on, Salco, Dorsey, and Rathbone.
Robert, that one was another one from Patterson that we nearly saw enter the Greely bench. He is looking for a headshot, I think.
Rathbone across, Salco will collect, and Salco gets lit up there by Levesque. Dorsey tries to collect, it's taken away by Levesque. And a chance for Jack Noon with speed into the zone, able to get around, but then a nice hit there by Theo Lyons to stop his rush. We'll get an icing.
No power play, so the icing call will come through here. Let's turn to Asher now for a second and see what he has to think about things here. Asher?
Asher doing a great job on the scoreboard. Are you enjoying the scoreboard gig?
No, it's not too bad. It's pretty, a couple buttons here and there to click, like now.
Of course, we distracted him so he couldn't do his job.
It's a great game though so far.
Jason Parent is hit hard in the open ice by Avery Sampson. Copeland takes it away from Noah Barrel. Really gets it back though. Barrel will cut back, and he is knocked to the ice by Palmer. Big hits left and right, and the Dragons fans love it. Here's Theo Lyons with space into the offensive zone. He'll fire, save Maine by Olsen. Palmer will give it out back to Copeland along the wing, looking down the middle. Palmer not there. Ned Boak comes onto the ice and handles it in the neutral zone.
Ned Boak had a calculus test today. He said it went okay. It was quite hard, though. I helped him prepare for it a bit. He's a smart kid.
I just hope we did better than Ethan Patterson on his calculus quiz, which we will not mention again.
Ethan Patterson got a 65. We will mention it just one more time.
Of course, his score was outscored by Brunswick boys basketball against Greely, who scored 75 against Greely last night. And that one, Patterson in his own fire. Blocker saved by Olsen. That would be funny if Patterson scored while we were making fun of him.
That'd be funny because he didn't quite score on the test.
Noon with space into the zone, whiffs on the shot, and Patterson turns it over. Up ice looking for Rathbone. Puck goes straight up in the air. Rathbone will get knocked down by Bush, and then Patterson go right back after Jared Bush. Noon into the zone, into the slot. He's open. Will look to fire and score. Jack Noon cuts it to a 2-goal deficit.
Now the score sits at 4-2 at this point, which is eerily close to 4-3, which was the early prediction.
And I predicted that Dorsey would score and Patterson would score. I was right on both of those. Of course, that last goal was by Palmer instead of Salco, but that was my prediction before the game. It was going to be a 4-3 win by the Dragons, with Salco, Dorsey, and Patterson scoring. If anyone wants my predictions, my father tells me to make less predictions on the stream. Sorry, Dad, but I did say that those guys would score, and that the score would be 4-3. So, sorry.
Dragons face off one here, back out to Sampson.
Ranger goal scored by number 11, Jack Noon.
Yeah, Noon scored in that preseason game against the Dragons as well, so Brunswick probably knew that he was going to be a player to watch out for. Rathbone with speed into the zone. We'll leave it off for Dorsey. Dorsey gets hit by Bush. Dorsey knocks it back to Rathbone. Dorsey getting tied up with Bush on the ice. And now takes away Dorsey down the middle. Salco couldn't get to it. There's Lambert. And now a Greely rush with numbers. Murphy's open in the middle, but it's picked off by Drew Wilson with a great defensive stop. Greely with the odd man rush. Murphy open on the cross crease pass, but Drew Wilson shut that down.
Big stop from Wilson there. He looked like Patterson, honestly.
That's definitely going to be a trip. Yeah, okay. There's the outstretched hand of the official, and that's going to be a trip on Ethan Patterson. Patterson very worried. He was tied in penalty minutes with Evan Dorsey for a moment there and made sure to say, I need to take the lead in penalty minutes, so he gets the trip, and there you go, Patterson back in the lead for penalty minutes. Yes, good job, Asher.
Patterson looking to run that close line between winning the game and winning in penalty minutes. And as of now, he's in the clear.
You got to try to win both. If you're not first, then what are you even trying?
There's an old saying that goes, the man who chases 2 rabbits catches none. And I hope that does not prove true here.
Well, he seems to be doing one with the rabbit involving penalty minutes, so only 6 minutes left for Greely to score twice. And without Michael Shoemaker's played today, I have confidence. Andrew Adams into the zone. Save made by Shoemaker. Greely still leads in shots on goal with 35-25. Levesque trying to set up a Greely power play. They haven't been able to get it settled yet. That one was blocked by Kittinger, and he still prevents Greely from getting it set up. Here's Noah Barrel.
Brunswick only had 3 players on the ice for a second there. There was a bit of a confusion in the substitution window. Thankfully, they've corrected.
Barrel into the zone. Palmer will take it over, and the Dragons able to clear once again. Bush stopped it. Houston, as you mentioned, Ken, is always working hard. He's racing after Bush there. Houston still pressuring, left off, back for Bush. Bush will cut past Houston and find Lampert up the ice. No, just a little too far, and that should be an icing. No, it's not an icing. Sometimes I feel like it's just arbitrary. I don't, that seems to be the definition of icing to me. I'll have to look back at the replay to see if I'm correct or the official, but of course we trust the official here in BHSN. Down the middle for Noon, save made by Shoemaker.
Officials are always right. We'll say it every single game. We need more officials in the state of Maine. We need to support them and their calls.
Every Maine sport is in need of officials. If you're interested, contact the MPA today. Patterson is released, and the Dragons' penalty kill is 3 for 3 on the night. Shot, a ring off the iron. Greely power play falls to 0-3. Shot there, saved by Shoemaker on the deflection. And a couple of Dragons having the word with Jack Noon. I believe that was Houston protecting his goaltender.
Always protect your keeper. Anybody going at your keeper, it is now your full responsibility to floor them, lay them out, smash them, just anything destructive.
Really, after that power play, got 5 shots on net. They lead in shots on goal 40-25, but still trail 4-2 in goals. Once again, how would you know the score is 4-2? Oh, because we finally have a scoreboard. But who's operating it? Oh, Asher Foushée. Isn't he doing amazing, guys? Ned Boak fighting in the corner for it.
Foushée is operating a farm over there. He is doing amazing, and it is quite profitable.
We hope that Foushée will return to the scoreboard for tomorrow's girls hockey game at noon right here on BHSN, right here at Sidney J. Watson Arena. Noon taken away by Patterson. He makes a nice move, but Levesque is there to take over. Noon is open though. Chance into the offensive zone he goes. Already has scored 1 goal. Boak stops that pass attempt. And Dorsey has it with speed, makes a nice move. And here's Evan Dorsey up to Matt Rathbone. Rathbone with a breakaway. Will be hit, and that puck nearly trickled in the back of the net. Dorsey looking around. Olsen trying to find it. Olsen came out for that puck, but it just went right under him. That's a hand pass on Ned Boak, so that'll draw the whistle. And I think that'll be a defensive zone faceoff for the Dragons. In the offensive zone, you cannot bat the puck forward with an open hand.
Ned Boak, I mean, I got a glimpse of prime Tom Brady there, and he went up, made the pass. Beautiful. Although it is not allowed, so I guess it's not that beautiful.
It will be a defensive zone faceoff. Greely is going to take the timeout. That is Coach Barry Moths talking to his team, trying to get something going as his team trails by 2. The Dragons, I should mention this, their first win last year was also against Greely. That was in their second game of the season, a 5-1 win. So they're trying to collect their back-to-back season opener win. Well, I guess not season opener, but first win of the season against Greely for the second straight year. They were just 3 minutes and 6 seconds. Well, I guess Asher has 3 minutes and 7 seconds. There's a difference there between 6 and 7.
Well, that's really something, Robert. 6-7 is it's a funny number.
Shots on goal still led by Greely, 40-26. Michael Shoemaker having a nice conversation with his. Oh, that's really not what you love to see. You can see Michael Shoemaker laughing and talking to Colton Sampson, and there's Ryan Livesey on the other side of the bench, not involved in the conversation. You just gotta feel bad for the other goaltender. Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Once again, Ryan Livesey did concede 14 goals last weekend. That means there's nowhere to go but up, I guess, at least.
That was against Falmouth and Scarborough, 2 top Class A teams, so you can't really feel too bad. It was Colton Sampson who played in the preseason game against Greely, that being a 5-3 win by Greely, but looks like it should be a different outcome in this game if the Dragons can fill these last 3 minutes. Bodic with space into the zone. He'll cut back, fire down the middle, deflected, nearly went in. Palmer will give it up to Sampson. Sampson will fire that one wide. Donnelly leaves it up for Jack Noon. Noon has it stripped by Bodic. Bodic gives it back here to Kittengers, hit against the boards. Interesting, Kittenger playing with Bodic and Palmer right now. Coach Hageman continues to switch up those lines. Kittenger taking his fellow freshman Copeland's spot on that second forward line.
Robert, Greely does lead the shots on goal by 15 shots today and still trails by 2. I mean, how do you think this is going to affect Greely's practice routines going into next week?
I think probably hope to try to shoot the puck a little bit better, but when you're playing such a great goalie like Michael Shoemaker, I don't know how you can put the puck in the net. Rangers are going to pull their goalie. Olsen skates to the bench, and the Rangers will send on their 6th skater as they try in desperation here in the last 2 minutes. We do not have an empty net marker on this stream. Sorry about that. Here's a shot saved by Shoemaker. The Dragons Palmer, he tried on the empty net. But no, he'll just bank it off the boards, and it's stopped by Murphy. Palmer. Up the net. Would that puck roll into the empty net? No, I believe that is just left, and that'll be an icing here with 1 minute and 20 seconds left. I assume that Coach Mathis decided about that when he would pull the goalie during that timeout.
And Robert, although it only is one extra skater, you can really see the difference from here. I mean, 6-on-5 doesn't sound like a crazy advantage, but it really is noticeable.
Dorsey to take the draw against Donnelly. Dorsey will flip it up, but it's kept in the zone by the hand of Murphy. Well, Patterson tried on the open net, just wide left, and that'll be an icing. Of course, sorry again, Dad, about the predictions, but I predicted the 2 Ethan Patterson goals today. Nearly made it happen. About 6 inches to the left of that post.
Patterson with some Steph Curry range there, just off the mark. I think with 1 minute and some 7 seconds left to go, we will probably see another Brunswick look at the open net.
Crucial face-off here for the Greely attack. It is Donnelly taking it against Evan Dorsey. Shots on goal, 44-26, led by Greely. Puck drop, won by Dorsey and collected by Ethan Patterson, who looks to kill a few more seconds, banks it, and I think that's going to be another icing there, Kaz. Yeah, okay. So, every last second.
This is going to be a long 1 minute and 2 seconds, folks. 1 minute and 2 seconds, Asher, is it? Would be 1 minute and 2 seconds left for the Dragons to kill.
I don't think anyone really tracks icings in hockey, but if they did, I think Ethan Patterson would lead the state in icings.
He leads the state in a lot of things. Not calculus scores, though. Sorry, we'll stop bringing that up. That's definitely getting annoying.
Well, we said we'd stop bringing up the score specifically, but not in general. Calculus, Rathbone will wind up on the empty net and just miss again, another icing. Folks, you're going to be here for the next hour.
I mean, they are nibbling at the goal right now. They are just inches off of it. Nipping, sorry, not nibbling.
Crowd gets loud. Great Dragon student section today. Rathbone and Dorsey both taking a lot of those face-offs. Seems to just be random of who will take it. Each getting some reps. Patterson's going to take yet another look. And that one will go! Ethan Patterson! A full court shot. And he has his prophesied second goal. I'd say Ethan Patterson will definitely be getting one of our stars of the game, Kaz.
Absolutely. I mean, how could he not after such a dominant performance?
Arrow up the ice and stopped. I don't want to spoil anyone, but I think Dorsey, Shoemaker, and Patterson could be our lineup there. But I won't spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it.
We're not going to call it early. We'll say that much. We won't call it early, but those are likely to be the 3 stars.
Sampson in the neutral zone. And that'll be an offside. And we got a neutral zone faceoff. It'll be Jonah Kinninger here with our last 14 seconds of the game. Take the draw against Donnelly. Donnelly will win it here. Jared Bush will cut back. Tries to get around Landry. Donnelly into the zone. Cuts back, will fire. Save Shoemaker with 2 and 1. And the Brunswick Dragons are undefeated for the first time since 2022-2023 season.
Huge win for the Dragons. They have not had hot starts to their past couple seasons, but this team does look better than it has in the past. I have a lot of confidence, Robert. How about you?
A great game by the forward group for the Dragons. Dorsey scored 2 and Bowditch scored 1, but of course 2 goals by Ethan Patterson. Kaz, let's award our 3 stars here. Would you like to go first?
Yep, Robert, being the color guy, I get 1 star to award, and I'm going to go ahead and give mine to the attendee himself, Michael Shoemaker, 43 saves tonight.
I will be giving mine, as the play-by-play, I get 1 vote. I will be giving mine to Evan Dorsey, who scored 2 goals tonight, was clearly the best forward for the Dragons, and he played great, 2 goals in the second period. And our 3rd award, of course, Brendan Shaw will be awarding our 3rd star of the game. Sorry, Asher.
Yeah, I like Ethan Patterson here.
Like Ethan Patterson, he scored 2 goals as well, played fantastic, number 3 in white for the Dragons.
I think we will have some girls hockey players coming to do an interview here in a sec, so stay tuned for one last moment.
Shots on goal were won by Greely tonight, 45-27. Brunswick hockey captain for the girls team, Solveig Ledwick, who scored 5 goals last game. Big game tomorrow against Portland. Can you give us some sort of game preview?
Yeah, I mean, we're feeling pretty good. They had a similar result against Lewiston. They went 7-1, but I think we got the shutout. I think we have an edge over them, so looking forward to a hard game.
All right, that'll be at noon right here on BHSN tomorrow. Hopefully everyone will be tuning in for that game. At noon, thank you. Dragons win here, 5-2. Kaz, any last words?
Have a nice night, everybody. Awesome way to start the season.
Dragons win 5-2. Brandon Ware on the camera, Robert Bowen, and Kaz Kosinski on the microphone, and Asher Foushée, of course, on the scoreboard. Asher, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us here on BHSN. We'll see you tomorrow.